In a world where despair weighs heavily on hearts, there are those who stand on the edge of hope, one step away from giving up, one breath away from a new beginning. We all know this feeling, this quiet ache that settles in when the world feels too heavy. It's in the silence of an empty street at dawn, the flicker of a light that threatens to go out, the deep and spoken sadness we see in someone's eyes. This is a story about finding light in that very darkness. He is young, yet already weary. Dreams broken by silence, ambitions crushed by doors that never opened. Each rejection feels heavier than the last. You can see it in the stack of letters on his desk, each one a polite no, a reminder of what could have been. He walks through a crowded city, a ghost in a sea of faces. Everyone moves with purpose, rushing to their next destination, while he feels completely invisible, frozen in time. Everywhere he looks, life moves forward, but he stands still, at the edge of hope. In his small room, surrounded by the ghosts of failed attempts, he picks up an old notebook, its pages filled with ideas, with passion, with a version of himself he barely recognizes. His fingers tremble, ready to tear it all apart, to erase the dreams that now feel like a cruel joke. But just as he's about to give in, he pauses. Deep inside, a voice whispers, a flicker of defiance he thought was long gone. Try once more. Just one more time. What if this time is different? What if this is the time it all changes? He holds the notebook, not as a symbol of failure, but as a seed of possibility. Now, let's turn to another story, one that unfolds under the quiet hum of a refrigerator late at night. She is a mother who gives everything and keeps nothing for herself. She moves through the kitchen like a shadow, her hands trembling from a day that never seems to end. The bills are piling up, a constant, silent pressure. Her own dreams, the ones she had before she was a mom, are postponed indefinitely, tucked away in a box she doesn't have the energy to open. And the loneliness, it grows heavier with each passing night. But then, she peeks into the room where her child is sleeping, a small, peaceful smile on their face. In that moment, the weight on her shoulders feels just a little lighter. Sometimes, her hope is no longer for herself, but for the little one who believes she is the strongest person in the world. How can she give up when that tiny heart depends on her? She looks out the window, at the dark, sleeping city, and whispers a quiet prayer, not for a miracle, but for resilience. Just give me the strength to hold on. It's a plea to the universe, a promise to her child, and a commitment to herself to see the sunrise. And in another corner of the city, an elderly man walks slowly through an empty park. The morning air is crisp, but it does little to warm the chill of solitude. He holds a faded photograph in his hand, a window to a time filled with laughter and love. He has lived a lifetime of love and loss. Friends gone, family far away, and silence filling the spaces once full of life. The days feel long, the nights even longer. He wonders if the world has forgotten him, if he's just a relic of a time no one remembers. As he sits on a bench, a tear escapes and traces a path down his weathered cheek. The world feels distant, muted. But then, a flash of color, the sound of small, running feet. A child, lost in a world of play, runs past and accidentally drops a bright red toy. Without thinking, the old man leans down, his joints creaking, and picks it up. He holds it out, and the child, with wide, innocent eyes, offers a brilliant smile in return. In that moment, he remembers life still speaks, even in whispers. A simple, shared smile becomes a bridge, a reminder that connection is still possible. Despair comes for us all. It's a universal human experience. But so does hope. Sometimes it's fragile, a tiny spark you have to shield from the wind. Sometimes it's hidden, buried under layers of disappointment and fear. But it is always there, waiting for those who are brave enough to reach for it. We see it in the young man, his hand hovering over a blank page, ready to create again. We see it in the mother, her hand gently holding her child's as they wake, her smile a silent promise of a new day. And we see it in the old man, walking alongside the child and their parents, no longer alone. Hope is not the absence of struggle. It is the courage to continue, even when everything inside you and everything around you tells you to stop. It's the young man sealing an envelope with a new application, not knowing the outcome but choosing to believe anyway. It's the mother stepping outside, the morning sun on her face, with a renewed energy she thought she'd lost. It's the old man kneeling in the park to plant a small flower, a quiet act of faith in the future. And those who stand on the edge, looking down into the void, may one day discover they were meant to fly. On the edge of hope lies the beginning of life. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. If this story resonated with you, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel for more content that explores the strength of the human spirit. Until next time, hold on to hope.